Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of...
Insert podcast here.
Well, I was leaving the silence so that way we could insert the name in, because we haven't figured out a name yet.
Okay.
So if that name sounds weird, it's because we haven't figured out a name for this podcast yet.
Yes.
Because we're uncreative people, but we're doing our best. Anyway.
Yes, okay.
Today, we are going to be watching Circus Island. If you haven't heard about it, you're welcome.
Good.
Like, yeah.
Good.
It looks like a fucking nightmare.
All right. So
also, by the way, this podcast is going to be mature or rated R, as some might call it.
So if your ears
hide your babies.
If your ears are sensitive, if they tingle whenever they hear a word like heck or dang it
or fuck
or okay, well,
I guess. I guess we know.
Get the heck off my lawn.
We know which one of us is going to be the explicit one.
I might surprise you. Who knows?
Oh,
okay. All right. So,
let's introduce ourselves. By the way.
Oh wow.
For those of you who don't know, which I guess would be no one, because
right, no one's listening.
Yeah, no one's listening. My name is Jacob Nunes, and this is my sister.
My name is Emma Nunes. Emma Nunes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty easy to figure out. Yeah. So
yeah.
Jesus. Today we're gonna be watching Circus Island. How did we find this movie? We decided we wanted to do this podcast.
Yes.
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
And we're finally doing it.
I finally texted him the other day and I said, I don't care what you're doing this weekend. We're doing the podcast.
Yes.
And
it took a demand.
It did.
You had to demand me to do this.
Also, I find it important to note, if you can't tell by our voices, but I am indeed the little sister in this situation.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I guess I had never thought that was a question, but if people were wondering, yeah.
And I order him around sometimes.
This is, yeah, well, sure. She likes to think so. Anyway, we were just looking up trash movies that we could watch because we wanted this podcast to be all about us watching just absolute garbage fucking movies.
Yeah.
And just doing our best to talk about them in some sort of funny way.
Yeah.
So we were looking at a list titled The Best Amazon Prime movie, The Best Prime Perk, The Terrible Movies, of course. And it's from a year and a half ago. And so I was really hoping we would find a good one here. And we ran into Circus Island, and oh boy, is it going to be a fucking nightmare.
If you could see this movie poster.
I urge you, if you are listening to this podcast right now, go and Google Circus Island, not only because then this podcast might actually mean something to you if you have either seen it or if you plan on watching it.
I might add, it's very unlikely that you have seen this film because the trailer, which we will go over later, only has about 15,000 views on YouTube.
Now, YouTube views can mean one thing.
Right.
Could have watched it on something else. I don't know what. I assume they picked this up in a Blockbuster if they were ever going to go see it. So it's from 2006. So if you've seen it, you are one of the lucky few. But let's go through the synopsis of this movie.
Right.
Emma, you want to read this one for us?
Yeah. So this movie is from 2006, and this is the Amazon.
I also just realized. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
The genre is drama.
Oh.
So I'm expecting so much fucking drama in this movie.
Right. Well, we better get it then. We better get it.
I better get that fucking drama. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so let me pep it up a little bit.
Yeah, do your best.
In this lighthearted family adventure, 15-year-old Gabrielle runs away from home to find her deadbeat dad, who is a trapeze flyer living on a tropical island.
We've all been there.
We've all been in
this situation. This exact same situation.
Exactly.
You know where dad is right now?
He's on a tropical island. He's a trapeze flyer.
He's probably listening to this, by the way.
Hey, Dad. Hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Jeff.
Hope your island's cool.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway.
So together, they turn the island into a circus camp for teens. It is a family circus in more ways than one, which I don't know what the hell that means or is supposed to mean. But we're going to find out. The next section of this synopsis is my favorite, and shout out to whoever wrote this. Good for you.
They tried their best.
They really did.
They were doing the absolute best job with the worst source material that they possibly could.
Hey, we haven't seen the movie yet.
You know, okay, fine. That's fine. I'll take it back.
We don't know.
I'll take it back.
We don't know.
I'll take it back.
So it says, danger, tears, love, and laughter. It all happens under the big top. Wow. Wow.
They are fluffing this thing up as much as they possibly can.
I'm so excited to watch this.
I'm ecstatic to watch this one, especially after reading the reviews. There's only 4 reviews. There are 4 reviews on Amazon, and I'm going to read every single one right now. They're not that long. The first one, 3 stars, is from November 11th, 2018. Yes, it's a low-budget movie. Some of the acting could have been better, but it did have some scenes that were good, and we thought it was enjoyable enough to watch the movie. Gave it 3 stars because I thought it was worth 3. Why would you?
All right. Well,
that's the first time me reading this. Why would you specify? Gave it 3 stars because I thought it was worth 3.
You know, I was gonna give it 4 stars because I just wanted to bump it up a little bit. I didn't think it was worth 4, but I just wanted to bump it up, and then I was like, you know what? I want to give it what it deserves. Let's give it 3. Let's give him 3.
My main quarrel, I suppose, with this is just. I mean, we can see that it's 3-star review. You don't have to specify.
Right.
Gave it 3 stars because I thought it was worth 3 stars.
Yeah, I know.
Just leave it as 3 stars.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Frank.
Yeah, and also thank you, Frank.
Thank you for typing in all lowercase letters as well.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
You will learn through
watching
this podcast, listening to this podcast, that I value grammar so much and punctuation. And this just made me sad. Looking at he capitalized that one sentence
Frank,
right
you son of a bitch.
Anyway,
no, two sentences.
Oh, good for him.
And,
good for Frank.
Yeah, he did it.
Frank, if you're watching, we love you.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
I love you.
This next one is from Rackful. I don't know how to. Okay. The title of it is A Hot Mess Through and Through.
I like.
Just finished this one. Still can't really figure out what the plot is. Seemed like there were at least 3 different plots going on simultaneously. Movie made absolutely no sense, and the acting was simply dreadful.
That's promising.
See?
That's promising.
This makes me want to watch this movie even more. Even more. I don't know what it is. I can't go into a movie theater knowing that it's going to be a good film and enjoy it nearly as much as if I'm about to sit down on a couch, go to fucking Amazon Prime, and just watch the bottom of the barrel garbage. You know what? Maybe it's going to be okay.
Maybe
I'm really telling myself.
Maybe it got snubbed at the Oscars. We don't know, okay?
The Oscars in 2006.
Yes.
I don't know what was going on that year.
Dad, if you're listening, please
Dad, who was Best Picture
us.
that year?
Yeah. Our dad knows every single Best Picture winner from the Oscars from about now until 1968.
He says he counts them backwards like he counts sheep to fall asleep.
The other day I was on the phone with him.
Crazy.
He proclaimed himself he's a self-proclaimed Oscar connoisseur, I believe was the term that he used.
I can't believe
he's going to correct me after this podcast.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm going to get a flurry of texts after this. Like, can't believe you talked about me like this.
That's okay. Hi, Dad.
And he's probably going to be so happy. Hi, Mom. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Hi, Mom. Oopsie.
Sorry. Anyway, so thanks, Rachful, whatever the fuck.
Yes.
Next one is that was from March 24th, 2019. So that's fairly recent. All of these are from the past 3 years, which
that's pretty impressive.
Was no one using Amazon in 2006?
No.
I know.
That's pretty impressive considering that this movie is over 10 years old. So,
Yeah, so people are doing exactly what we were doing. They're like, "Oh, we found this. Let's spark controversy. Let's talk about it again."
Let's talk about it.
Hang on. Oh, dang it.
Wow, that was a good one.
I'm so sorry.
That was a good one. That was good.
Oh, we're going to leave that in.
Yeah, leave it in.
So this next one is from Dale McMahon. Dale McMahon. I don't give a shit. Gave it 2 stars, and then the review is called 2 stars.
I like a straightforward guy. I like what he's doing.
Dale?
You know what, Dale? I appreciate you.
I really appreciate you.
I really appreciate you, Dale.
From March 29th, 2016. So this is almost 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Campy kids film made for general family entertainment. Child level humor.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Actually,
what you like to see child level humor, or you like to see reviews like this where it's just straight and to the point?
Both.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna get into our predictions a little bit later, and
Yes.
this actually wasn't one of my predictions, but at least one fart joke. At least
You're calling it right now.
I'm calling it right now.
I'm gonna make a category on my pad right now for fart jokes.
Yeah, at least one.
Do you really think? You think in a serious drama film like Circus Island?
Yes.
2006.
Yes.
2006.
I do.
That there's going to be
at least
a fart joke.
It's going to be something like bodily humor. I'm not gonna confine it to a fart joke. I'm gonna say something along the lines of that.
So you think there's going to be either a fart joke,
a burp joke,
or
possibly?
a burp joke?
Burp joke's a little more high level. I would put that on the level of this movie.
I would put burp jokes are a little bit more highbrow. I would put those up there. Okay. So thank you, Dale.
Yeah. Sorry to go into the prediction section of the
No. But we'll get there. It's okay. So thanks, Dale. 2 stars. And now my favorite one, my absolute favorite one. Oh,
the pizza's ready.
My girlfriend just set off the fire alarm.
Oh, oopsie.
Oopsies.
Is the
pizza's ready. I suppose we're going to be eating burnt pizza for this podcast.
Delicious.
What a wonderful fire.
Is that what it says?
Fire. Yeah, it literally is like fire.
That's
just in case you didn't know your house was fucking burning down. It's like
fire. Please exit. Please fucking idiot.
Hey, everything's on fire. Please exit the building. Fire. We didn't plan this.
No,
apparently
actually,
she's just really bad at making pizza.
I planned this. This is.
Oh, you planned this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It really it makes for good content. No, really, it does.
All right, you're welcome.
Anyway, thanks, Tabitha.
Thank you. We love you.
Anyway, back to my favorite review. It's by screen name JML. This is on Amazon, by the way. I'm sure I could find other ones out there. I just don't care. Mm-hmm. I have to put work into this? What? Fuck that. So JML, 1 star, titled Yikes. This is a great way to start.
Yeah, this one's from 2017. I don't know if you already said that. Did you say that?
No, I was about to say it.
2017.
July 28th, 2017. So what? 2.5 years ago?
About.
Why does the cover look like a porn? This movie was whack. And that's it. That's the whole review.
I love it.
That's it.
I love it.
Now they're downstairs talking about the pizza.
Pizza.
But yeah, this is my favorite review for obvious reasons.
Right.
The cover, yes, it does look like it could be a very low budget porn.
If you're following along with us, you know that you know what the thing looks like. You know what the thing looks
like I told you to Google it, you should have seen a poster by now.
It's so good. It's so
Circus
good.
Island. What does it say? One family, one dream. Let the show begin.
Is that
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what it says.
It's gonna be fucking.
It's gonna be good.
So now that we've gone over how we found the movie, the synopsis.
Yes.
Let's get into, and the reviews. Let's get into predictions. So this is what we believe. Oh, good point. But we did watch the trailer before committing to watching this movie because my brain can't just look at a title of a film and be like, let's watch that one. I have to know what's going on.
Right. And if it's not an understatement to say that the first line of the trailer made our decision for us. We were like, we're watching this movie.
I don't remember what it was.
I just
remember the feeling it gave
I remember
me.
the feeling as well.
I remember the absolute just feeling of happiness of like, oh, yep,
this
is the one. This is the one we're watching.
The one.
So what we're going to do now and what we're going to do for the rest of the podcast, or the rest of the podcast in the future, per se, is we're going to do predictions. So what we would like to do is we're each going to give 2 or 3 predictions about the plot, what we think is going to happen in the movie.
Yes.
Then we're each going to give some predictions for quotes, certain quotes that we think are going to be said in the movie.
Cliches, that kind
cliches,
of thing.
quotes that people will say, explicatives or expletives. I don't know how to talk. I didn't go to college. That people are going to say out, in the movie that were somehow written into this script. And then one called Left Field, which is something that we just think is going to happen in the movie for no reason.
It might be something that a character does. It might be like a bet that I bet you that this is going to happen. It might be something along the lines of that. It could be literally anything, but something that is so unexpected, I think.
Yeah. So, why don't you go first?
All right.
Ladies first. Go ahead and give me your 2, 3, however many plot predictions you have for this film.
Right.
For Circus Island 2006.
So I believe that one of the plot points is going to be that the circus or circus camp, whatever the hell, is going to be running out of money. They're low on funds.
Oh, okay.
They're low on funds.
Okay.
And they're going to need to, quote, save the circus.
Oh, that's a very obvious one that I should have thought of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mine are a little bit more dark than that.
All right.
Mine are a lot darker than that. Well, so one of the plot points that you think is going to happen is you think the circus or the circus camp
circus camp
is going to be running out of money.
They're going bankrupt.
Here's another good prediction. They are going to have to save the circus,
like
you just
said. That's in my notes.
But by putting on a big show.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm sorry I beat you to it.
Dare you? Anyway,
I fucked up. I fucked up.
You're good.
We're just thinking on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page right now. They're totally gonna have to save the circus through some sort of grand performance.
Oh God.
And it's going to be down to the wire.
It's down to the wire.
They're going to be like, oh man,
we only
have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I was
no.
We only have a week to pay off the loan, or the mortgage for this circus tent. We need to put on the biggest show this island's ever seen.
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge. No, what is it, Trump? It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the biggest
best circus I've ever seen on an island.
It's gonna be the best. So that's gonna happen.
Okay. So your first
that's
idea for a plot point is
like 1 and 2.
Okay. So the first one was there's going to be they have to save the circus, and the second one, which kind of went in with it, was that they have to put on a big show. Okay.
And my third, which is kind of small. Mm-hmm. And I'm scared to hear your predictions because they definitely do not sound as scary as mine are. But that's just
okay.
who we are. Is that so? In the trailer, we saw a few bullies.
This island. This island is riddled with bullies.
Is about to. I was thinking because
no. But that I don't think.
No.
So in the trailer, she's at a high school.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
That's what you're talking about. Okay.
So I'm saying that her high school bullies are going to show up to the island. They're going to be there.
Hang on. Are they showing up? There's 3 options of how they could show up. They're either showing up as spectators for the big show, in which they're going to bully her during the big show.
Right.
As nice. We're full of it.
We're burping.
So spectators, participants of the
circus camp.
Of the circus camp.
Right.
Or they're just there as plot points to be bullies.
They're just
there
is for
no
shits.
Fucking rhyme or reason as to why they are on this island.
They're just there for shits and only shits.
Not giggles?
Not giggles.
No giggles?
No giggles.
Only shits.
Only shits. Only shits. And that to my people who are watching.
No one's watching
my people
this.
Who are
it's
listening,
impossible.
My friends, they'll know what that means.
Just for shits.
That's a little inside joke for you. That's a little inside joke
okay.
for you.
Okay, so
those are my 3.
Those are your 3.
Yes.
Okay. I only have 2.
Okay.
Because I couldn't think of a third.
Got it.
Obviously.
Right.
So my first one is the dad, the deadbeat dad,
right?
The one who is a flying trapeze artist or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
He's gonna die.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he will die. At some point during the film, I think it could go either 2 ways. I think he's either going to have some great redemption story arc throughout the entire thing to where he's deadbeat, but he's trying his best to reconnect with his daughter or whatever the fuck is happening in this film. I already forgot.
Right.
Or it's the complete opposite. He's just a deadbeat the entire time, and then when he dies, we're supposed to feel good about it. You know what I mean? So we're it's either going to be like a sad plot point to where like maybe he falls off the trapeze,
right?
Or maybe he gets hit by a car.
We did get to see some people falling off of a trapeze in the trailer.
This is true. This is okay.
Which was a very weird experience in the trailer because it was towards the end. Actually, hold on. Let's back up for a second.
Okay.
The trailer was 2 minutes and 30 seconds long.
Way too long.
Way too long.
Way too long for a trailer.
Way too long for a trailer. So at the end of this trailer, before they showed the people and their names, the little cast, they had a little credit section. It was just someone falling off of a trapeze.
Fully. Just eating shit. Probably dying.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's
your prediction.
One of my predictions is I think the dad's gonna die.
All right.
Either in some sort of grand way to where we're supposed to be like, yeah, fuck that guy, he was a piece of shit, or oh no, like he had just reconciled with his daughter,
and
like
we're sad
about it. So those are my two. The main reason I think that's gonna happen is because what we forgot to mention is that the two women starring in this film also directed it, wrote it, and produced it with their own production company.
Yes.
So not only am I like, oh yeah, plot-wise, a deadbeat dad is probably going to die, but I'm like, it was also written, directed, starred, and produced by women. Why wouldn't they kill him? Just fuck it.
Gosh.
Just fuck it. Like, who cares?
I don't know.
Who cares? Not, like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know,
I don't think that's the main reason.
No.
But I think when they sat down, they were just like, "Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Also,
let's just kill him."
Also, can you go back to the cast list? So, the guy who's the dad, his name, ready for this, is Ed Marinaro.
It's a spicy meatball up in here, baby. It's a spicy meatball.
I'm so sorry.
Fun fact about Ed Marinaro: he got second place in for the Heisman Trophy in 1971. He was runner-up to Pat Sullivan, and he actually played in the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings, New York Jets, and Seattle Seahawks, appearing in Super Bowl 8 and 9 with the Vikings.
Good for our boy Ed. Good
Fuck
for
it
him.
up, Ed. Fuck it up, Mr. Marinara. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking care.
Good for us.
Good for you. Wait, he's not dead, is he?
Oh
no, he's not. He's not.
Okay.
Or at least based on Wikipedia.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I only say that because we were looking at the cast list, and there's a guy in the cast named Jamaican Joe, and he does a great Jamaican accent.
It's beautiful.
And we were just reading his Wikipedia, and we were like, this guy sounds awesome. He was a child actor. He was in Broadway. He served in the U.S. Armed Forces in Okinawa. And then we found out that he died 2 years ago.
And
I
it
was
made
like,
us
oh
sad.
my God. David Downing.
Like, sorry, buddy. Sorry.
I already miss you.
Yes.
Anyway,
sorry.
Weird tangent.
Yeah.
My second plot prediction is that the main girl is going to get lost on the island and run into some trouble.
Ooh, what kind of trouble?
It's up to the island, I suppose.
Perhaps some
circus trouble.
Circus trouble.
Define circus trouble.
Circus trouble. And
oh no, the elephants escaped.
Oh no.
The bearded lady is shaving. Hurry! Stop her! That one was a lame one. My main one was the first one. That's the one I thought.
That one's pretty good.
So anyway, moving on. The next prediction is we're gonna go to quotes.
Yes.
Now I want you to really, really get into this.
Okay, I can do it. So my first quote, not sure who's gonna say it.
Okay.
But whoever says it will say it like this.
Oh,
okay. The show must go on.
You motherfucker. I literally put that as my last quote.
That's right, son. That's right.
God damn it.
That's right.
We swear we didn't work on this together. We sat across from each other and we're just like, I don't want to know what you're writing.
We purposefully
I want to hear it on air.
Isolated ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the show must go on.
So that's my first one. That's my first
great.
one.
No, that's great. That's 100%. If that's not in it, I will be surprised.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
My second one is going to go like this. Something's happened, and everyone on the island is in danger. I'm sorry. I couldn't get through that. Sorry.
It's so funny because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's so cliche.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
great. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And then the last one.
That was great.
The last one. This one's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay.
But I hope it happens. It's gonna go like this. It's either me or the circus.
That's my favorite one.
Thank you.
Without a doubt.
Thank you for that.
That is my favorite one.
Thank you.
You knocked this out of the park.
Oh,
mine are
thank
so
you.
bad compared to yours, other than that first one that we had both had.
I appreciate it.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
So, okay.
Just kidding.
So now I only have two because we said the same thing.
Yes.
The first one is going to be someone very, very angry.
Okay.
They're going to be very angry.
All right.
And they're going to look at a character and they're going to turn around real slow and just go, "You get off my Circus Island."
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. It's not going to be "Get off my island." It's going to be "Get off my Circus Island." Like they're going to name drop the movie in the quote that they had written down.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
That one's good.
That's
good.
That's one.
That's going to happen.
The next one is the first time.
Breathe.
God,
Breathe.
The first time that I don't even know what character we're going to be following. I assume the main girl. I don't know.
I'm assuming it's about the main girl here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the first time that she sees the island, whoever greets her there, may it be her dad, some person who works on the island.
Jamaica Joe, perhaps?
Oh, shit. It's going to be Jamaica Joe for sure. Someone is going to say, with their arms outstretched wide, "Welcome to paradise."
Yeah.
Much like Scooby-Doo Monster Island or whatever that movie is.
Yes, oh my God.
They're just going to get off and they're just going to be like, "Welcome to the island." I don't even know if they said that in that movie. That just seems like something that would happen.
That seems like something they probably said.
Yeah, I think someone's going to go, "Welcome to paradise."
I'm excited for that to happen because it most definitely will.
I liked yours better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yours were good.
I'll work on it.
Yours were good.
Okay. I'll work on it. Okay. So now let's go to the left field ones.
Right.
So this is something that we think is either going to happen in the movie randomly, or maybe it's a plot point, or maybe it's a quote. Just something that's like, because the other ones, they were calculated. We were like, okay, based on what we know, what we see, this might happen. This we hope it happens. This is something that we're like, this would be awesome if it happened, but it would be way out there, essentially out of left field. Emma, please tell me what you think is going to happen in this movie.
Right. So, I see this one actually happening. This one might be a little bit more conservative prediction.
Okay.
This one is a two-parter. So, there is going to be a scene involving an animal, a circus animal, getting loose, and they must catch it. They must catch this animal.
Wow. Once again, our predictions are very different from each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then also what I was going to say too was that if the term big top is not mentioned at all in this movie.
I mean, it's mentioned in the synopsis.
Right. But the makers of the movie did not write the synopsis, I'm assuming.
Clearly.
So if the term big top is not mentioned in this movie, I will punish myself in some way.
I will launch myself off a balcony.
I will do 10 push-ups. I will do 10 push-ups.
That's a lot more healthy.
I will do 10 push-ups if the term big top is not mentioned in this movie.
Wow. Some good incentive.
And I rest my case.
What about instead you do a push-up for every time they say big top? Because I'm near positive they're going to say it a little too often.
I don't know. You know what? Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's keep tracking it. So we already have a category for fart jokes said, and now let's keep another category. I can't talk today. For how many times they say big top.
Right.
And that's one push-up.
And just as a clarification for everyone, I will save the push-ups until we get back after watching the movie.
Oh, of course.
So you can hear the struggles of doing as many push-ups as they say big top, which I cannot talk. Wow.
Neither can I.
Presumably will be a lot.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope.
So that's your left field.
That is my left field. Peeled. Wow. Left field prediction.
God,
so sorry. We're really bad at this.
So Here is my left field. Here is my left field prediction.
I'm so scared.
I think there will be some sort of big explosion.
I was gonna say that.
Thank you. I think the makers of this movie,
there's a bomb
at some point. Well, I don't know about if they're gonna go like, "There's a bomb inside the big top. We have to rescue the night. Yeah, we got to defuse it in 20 minutes. Or we're all gonna die." I think it's gonna be more like, just randomly, there will either be a very large explosion in some sort of chaotic scene, or there will be a very large fire, causing very conveniently everyone to have to move from one location to the next.
All right.
Because why write them to go somewhere in context of the story when you could just have a big fire and then they all have to leave?
I mean, sounds good to me. Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
I'm so ready for this movie. I'm so ready.
We got everything out of the way. We talked about the movie, talked about the synopsis, read the reviews, read the predictions. I think we're ready.
I think we're ready as well.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's watch that garbage!
Woo!
Fuck! Damn it.
I'm sorry, I messed it up.
Whatever. That was so boring.
Hey guys, what's up?
That was so boring.
It was
right.
Okay. So
like, am I wrong?
No.
So first thing I want to say about
we just watched the movie, obviously.
Yes. So we just finished watching Circus Island or Circus Camp or whatever the hell the third name that they tried to put for this film is.
And the most interesting part about this movie was the title.
Yeah, that's an understatement, honestly. You wrote down most of the plot. And honestly,
I did.
Thank God. Because
yeah.
If you didn't write it down, I do not remember the majority of this film. Honestly. It started extremely abrupt. It went from a dark screen immediately to watching a man abandon his family.
Yeah. So basically,
there was no buildup. It was just dude gets out of a car with his kid,
and the mom's
just like, "We're getting a divorce." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
No. So,
am I wrong? Am I off on that?
A little bit. So what ended up happening was he gets out of the car with his daughter, who is about maybe 3 or 4.
Right.
She has this bottle of sand. It's just like a bottle of sand. Mm-hmm. And they just apparently came back from Circus Island.
Which we found out later in the movie is in Florida. Well, Florida. I guess off the coast of Florida.
Florida, I don't even know what that means, but
it means it's an island.
Well, yes, but like I don't know. So he gets.
This is like
I don't even know.
There's so much to dissect here.
Basically, what ends up happening is that the mom, the mom is like, "I'm going to leave you if you don't get a real job or whatever," and he's like, "But I must circus."
Literally, I wrote down the quote. This is one of the first things this man says. "It's not easy getting a job as a trapeze flyer."
Yeah, there we go.
Which I guess you're right. I'm sure the market for that
is terrible.
Is very small.
Is terrible.
There cannot be many of those jobs.
No, there cannot.
So I commend him for wanting to go into a field that is so narrow.
Yeah.
Just so narrow.
He's following his dreams.
You know what? Good for him.
Also, do you recall the name of his character? Because I do not.
I honestly have no idea. I do not. I want to say Greg, but I don't think that's true.
No, I don't think that's true either.
Who
just
for the
sake of this podcast, we're gonna call him Marinara.
Oh yeah, it's played by Ed Marinara.
Marinaro.
Well, Marinero or whatever.
Marinero.
But we're gonna call him Ed Marinara for the rest of this
Marinara
discussion.
For short.
Okay, let's try to come up with some sort of a synopsis. So, beginning of the movie starts. Girl gets out of the car, holding a little vial of sand. This is to show later. The mom and the dad are like, "We're going to get a divorce." Mm-hmm. The dad goes off to his island. The mom and the daughter stay back behind.
Yes. Very hard cut
then
to...
extremely hard cut. I can't point out enough how much of a hard cut this is. All of the cuts in this movie are
awful.
So abrupt.
So horrible.
And the music is so bad, but we will talk about that later.
Yes.
So he... a super hard cut to a different woman who looks just like the other woman.
They are sisters.
Because we read the synopsis before, and because we had saw the trailer before, we already know that they're twin sisters. So it cuts to a woman, supposedly a different woman, who is actually played by a different woman. I will give it that. I thought it was just going to be one of those it's her twin sister, and it's just played by the same character. It wasn't, so I guess that's 1 point for the movie.
Right, good job, Circus Island.
Great, yeah, Circus Island. Round of applause. Good job. It cuts to a different woman. She is just on a boat, and cue about 45 straight seconds of dolphin stock footage. She just goes.
Literally, it was like out of a SeaWorld promotional ad. It was.
If you had told me after the fact that they had just stolen footage from an old 2006 ad for SeaWorld, I would 100% believe that.
Yeah, seems
but
legit.
basically, this other woman goes out on a boat and is not talking to dolphins in a sense that like a Dr. Dolittle, like speaking to dolphins, but she's just like, oh boy, I sure hope I can do my research in time, or like, I always love talking to you. Cue, dolphin footage, then back to her on the boat.
And then cue horrible CGI lightning. Just like, the worst you've ever seen.
I'm 2 hours away from the mainland, and I'm like, bitch, this boat is so small, and you're by yourself in the middle of a fucking ocean.
Right.
What the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? And she literally is like, well, I'm 2 hours away from the mainland. Guess I'll just go to this convenient island behind me with a giant big top tent on it.
Yeah.
Speaking of big top, not once, not even once did they say the word big top in this film.
I'm so disappointed.
Not once.
I'm so disappointed.
I'm kind of disappointed too, not because I wanted you to do push-ups, because I don't really care about that, just because how did they not say big top?
I don't know. You know what's funny?
It's in the log line for this film.
You know what's funny is that I don't even know how many times they said circus.
Oh, fuck. They said circus a lot.
Because they said circus a lot.
Aren't you happy we didn't make the bet for the word circus? Because you
would have done like 100 push-ups.
Oh, minimum. I think they said it like nearly every other sentence.
It was like blah blah circus blah blah circus blah blah.
So okay, before we get even more detailed into the plot, let me give just a huge brief overview of the plot. Mm-hmm. Family broken apart. Eventually, the daughter grows up. It's like 10 years after the fact, after he abandoned the daughter. She goes back to the island because she wants to, find her dad or whatever. Yeah. Then, so the plot is already so convoluted. It's very hard to keep track.
It's very hard to keep track, but also it's very cliche, which is fine. That would have been fine if they would have stretched it out for the entire movie.
Oh my God, no!
This plot line was resolved in 25 minutes.
Resolved in about 25 minutes. The original mom goes to the island, and I forgot about the whole scene where the dad meets the girl. So
we are so
okay. But before we get to that,
I
know this is so much to deal with. Fuck.
Let's just take it back to the CGI lightning. We can go from there.
We'll just go in order. This is going to take a second to get there. There's a lot to dissect here.
Sorry, guys. No one's listening, but sorry.
I don't fucking care. CGI lightning. She gets to the island where she's like, oh, this is a convenient island.
Right. And
finds a parrot.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
Talks
then
to
there's like ghost footprints that she sees like make impressions in the sand, and she's just like, there is no such thing as ghost. There's no such thing as ghost. And I'm like, yo.
That's a ghost.
Are we about to see ghosts in this film? I thought it was just about a circus.
But and then
what's going on?
I was let down because there was no ghost in this section of the movie. So I was sad about that. I was sad.
I was like, what the fuck? They just did that for nothing.
And then Marinara.
Ed fucking Marinara. She runs She runs into Ed Marinara, and then within like in the time span of the movie, like 3 hours. Mm-hmm. While we were watching it, approximately 13 seconds.
literally.
Is like, oh, I'm falling in love with you. And they're just like on a date on the island having champagne by the fire.
And so they're casually having a conversation.
Yes. Cue the scene where Ed Marinara finds out that this woman is actually his ex-wife's
sister.
Twin sister.
This is so ridiculous.
I know lots of twins and triplets.
Yes.
If I see a fucking person that looks exactly like a person I already know, I'm going to go, are you so-and-so's twin?
Even if they aren't.
If they look like them, I will in my brain go, you look a lot like that person.
The thing is that this guy doesn't even say that she looks like her.
Not at all.
So either Ed Marinara is so dumb that he doesn't remember his own ex-wife, whom he just broke up with, presumably
days ago. Also, he goes to this island because this is like his dream. He owns this island. Right. It's been passed down in his family for generations. Mm-hmm. That's why he's on the island. He wasn't just like, I'm just going to pick an island and go there. Hey, Circus Island, cool. So he's there, meets the woman. They just start talking to each other about like, oh, like I had a sister who, we were very close, who we were very opposite. And he is just like, I had a wife who sounds exactly like that. And
weird.
Then through like
That's
essentially
so
process of elimination, they're like, oh wait, you're my sister's ex-husband, and he's like, oh, you're my ex-wife's sister. And then they bang.
No, they don't.
They have 3 fucking kids, Emma.
Well, okay. Yes, they do.
It's 10 years
later. You're making it seem like they showed it. They did not do that.
No. If they did, it would have been a much more enjoyable film.
Well,
I'm just going to be honest.
The freaking poster looked like
boring.
It could have been a movie.
Well, yeah, like that guy said. He said he thought it was going to be a porn.
And it very well could have been.
At any point, if people just started having sex, I would have been like, oh, yeah, no, this is okay. Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
Totally,
I don't know.
Totally.
It led up to this. I should have known. I should have known.
Okay, so
what do we even
I'm gonna have to consult
down?
my notes. So sorry.
So then it cuts to 10 years later after that, and then we see Gabrielle, who is the original daughter, the young girl from the beginning with a little vial of sand, and she's being bullied in school by this girl named Ashley.
Also, there's no apparent reason as to why she's being bullied. There's no reason.
I'm assuming it's because she was tall. Have you seen Tall Girl on Netflix? I haven't seen that. But I've heard that she's only like 6'1".
She is 6'1".
She's
not that tall.
That's like kind of tall.
That's not that tall.
But really not like the whole show makes it seem like she's supposed to be like some sort of freak of nature. Yeah. And everyone is like, you're so fucking tall.
That movie was really, really bad, but I mean that's a conversation for another day.
I thought it was a show.
No, it's a movie.
That's even it's somehow worse.
It is worse. It is worse.
But she's just being bullied, and there's just like it's so fucking annoying.
It's really, really funny. Also, I wrote down a quote from Jacob.
Oh fuck!
That when I
probably said so much.
It was when we get to her school, I believe, and they're talking to someone. Okay. And they refer to this guy. He's like he basically looked like Jacob. It was like just a white guy. No. It was a white guy with brown hair. I'm just generalizing right now.
Oh, okay.
And they call him Armando.
No. That's the guy who helped the original woman get a boat to go to the island. That was not a dude at the school.
Okay.
There was just a white dude in like a backwards hat. And he was like, hey, good luck getting to that island. I hear there's ghosts there. And the woman who ends up, banging Ed Marinara is like, there's no ghosts there, Armando. And I'm like, look, I don't mean to be like racist. He's really white.
The direct quote.
That just seems an interesting name.
The direct quote was,
don't dox me by saying this quote right now.
No, it just said, Armando. The white man.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
Yeah, so it didn't really make any sense that his name was Armando. But hey, go you! If your name if you're out there and your name's Armando and you're white, good for you.
We promote diversity.
Sure,
especially with names.
Names.
So what else did I write down? Oh, I said, of course, the bully is a rich girl. So going back to the school.
My bad.
Gabrielle's being bullied by a cheerleader. And at one point, this girl, Ashley, who's the bully, gets out of a limo at the school. The butler or the driver opens the door and says, "Have a good day, Miss Ashley," or whatever. And she turns around and says, "I don't speak to the help." And I was like, oh, shit. That's exactly how rich people are.
It's just so...
And I was like, of course she had to be a rich girl.
Yeah.
She's a rich girl, and at one point, Billy, who's the main guy character...
Yes, he's our main love interest.
If you can fucking call it that. Also, I wrote, the acting is atrocious 30 seconds in. This is some of the just poorest acting I've ever seen. This movie is devoid of feeling.
It doesn't...
It's gone.
It's gone. And it doesn't even...
Devoid of feeling.
I didn't feel anything except for sadness that I was watching.
I felt nothing but emptiness. Emptiness.
Empty.
And then I also wrote below that, I fucking hate child actors.
Oh, no. You want to talk about that for a second?
Well, the child actors, not the teenagers.
They were fine.
The teenagers... Well, I wouldn't even say they were fine, but they
they
somewhat
weren't
were conscious of what they were doing.
That annoying.
But the three child actors in this film, the three main child actors, it was Ed Marinara and the new wife have 3 kids, and it's 10 years later. Gabrielle is in high school, and
Gabrielle is the original daughter of Ed Marinara. For those of you trying to serial killer board your way into making sense of this plot.
I was not only barely keeping track of this movie, I did not learn names. So this is very difficult for me to explain. But Ed Marinara and lady number 2, in the 10 years since, he abandoned his family, they have 3 kids. And these three kids, some of the worst acting I've ever fucking seen.
Also, I find it important to note that one of them has just a nice clean cut haircut with a little ponytail at the end of it.
I prefer to call it a rat tail.
All right, he has a rat tail.
Tail.
But mostly, a lot of the times...
We can also call it a virginity braid.
Well, a lot of the times the rat tail is just like a little bit at the end, and it's not like dealt with. That's a good point. It's not like dealt with or like kept, but this was in a little tiny ponytail holder.
It was like 1/12 of a mullet.
It really was.
It was like a fraction of a mullet.
It was, I don't know. I don't understand why he had that, but go him if that's what he wanted to wear his hair like.
Yeah, no, good for him.
Good for him.
But back to my main point.
Sorry.
I fucking hate child actors.
All right.
I like movies who have child actors. I don't automatically dislike, because there are some movies that have kid actors where I'm just like, damn, that kid fucking killed it. For the most part, don't put kids in the movies that I watch, because they're bad, and it really takes me out of the fucking immersion of what I'm watching. But anyway, these kids are terrible.
Right.
The Gabrielle is like, I need to find my dad, goes to the island, hangs out with her, I guess, half siblings / cousins.
Cousin weird thing.
Yes,
and
that's what it is. They're half siblings and cousins.
They address this during the movie, and all 4 of them are like, this is weird. This is weird.
Yeah,
and then
they address it a lot.
They keep addressing it, and it's like, yeah, we get it.
They really, really hit you over the head.
But the thing is, though, this is not the main plot point of the movie.
No,
because
we haven't
arguably
even got there yet.
Arguably, there is no plot of this movie, but we can get to that later.
The main plot of this movie, we have not even arrived at yet, and we are
touched.
35 to 40 minutes into this film.
Also, I find it important to say that I wrote. Let me see. I wrote, knock off Backstreet Boys music is making my head hurt.
Oh my god, the music in this fucking movie was terrible.
It was so bad.
Like, I know movies in 2006 were like its own genre of just weird. I'm sure in 2006 it was like, great. But I was 8 at the time, so I really wasn't paying attention to the film industry. But just like the choice of music at the time, if not just this movie, I'm just like, what is going on?
For those of you, no one's listening, but for those of you who have seen H2O,
it's so good.
It's very good. I like that show. But the music in that show is very similar to the music that we heard in this movie. But this movie, the music is so much worse.
It's just like 90s R&B cheesy.
Yes, but with the H2O music, it was like, oh, maybe songs you've heard before, or like maybe songs that are catchy.
At least licensed music.
This music is like...
Well, to be fair, Emma, it was written and performed by the same woman who starred in it, directed it, produced it, and fucking wrote it.
There's the kicker.
She
there it
is amazing.
She is amazing. She's a queen. This lady, I don't even remember her freaking name
Do
right now.
not care.
Her name is... Wait, hold on. Her name... I need to know her name.
Her name is... It doesn't
something.
Fucking matter.
Hold on. I definitely wrote it down.
Is she doing
I'm gonna
anything
give her
now?
justice.
I don't know. Probably.
Landers. Audrey Landers.
Audrey Landers. You fucking did
also,
it. I was
fun
on her
fact,
website earlier.
You can go on her website and buy jewelry with her face on it.
This is true. This is very true. I'm
I
on
know.
her website right now.
Audrey, if you're listening, please sponsor this podcast.
Please, for the love of God. We're so in deep already. We can't. All right. But anyway, I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. I hate kid actors. Anyway, they're on the island. Basically, the whole point of it is there's a school trip that Gabrielle's class gets forced to go to this island to go to circus camp. And they have to... Oh, fuck, this is so hard to explain. It seriously gives me a headache.
Do you want me to try to...
No, I can do it. The class goes to the trip because it's their summer trip, right? The whole reason they have this circus camp is because the family is going to be essentially evicted from their house because they owe a ton of money in taxes.
Right.
So now the rest of the film is based around circus camp.
They need to train...
They have to train kids who have no idea how to do anything circus.
Zero.
If I was in that class and they were like, hey, this summer we're going to circus camp, I'd be like...
I'm dropping out of school.
What?
I am dropping out of school.
You're forcing me to learn how to walk a fucking trapeze? First of all,
also
kind of cool. Second of all, what is going on?
The thing is about that, too, is that they never explicitly explained that that's why their entire class goes on this trip, and they never explained how. Like, a convenient plot point might be...
you're right.
To have Gabrielle, which is the daughter of the circus guy, she's in the class, for her to be like, hey, my dad has a circus camp. That would be really cool if our whole class went. But it was literally like, okay, we're all on a boat now. Like, we're going. Like,
just
we're going.
Any sort of
we're going
bridge between plot points would be great. But shit just happens in this film. You know, I don't even know if I could recommend this film.
No.
Because it's so confusing to understand, honestly.
It's so... I don't even know... I just...
So anyway...
I'm so sorry.
Anyway... What else did I write? I wrote, this movie is depraved of all feeling. I feel like they're all robots. Yes. Yeah. Pretty much.
So after... Let's just keep on trucking along.
I suppose.
And then after we can cry. So after they do their little... They're like, circus camp. Yeah, circus camp's going on. Whatever.
Right.
We find out that... the mean girl who is Ashley, who is on this she's on this trip.
Oh shit.
And she doesn't like Gabrielle.
No. Why doesn't she like Gabrielle?
There's no apparent reason.
Fucking reason. It's other than I guess she wants to steal her man.
I guess. Which is Billy,
who we forgot to mention is an orphan.
That's
his entire character.
Yes.
Is that he's a foster kid. That's it.
And the mother of Gabrielle, who
yes,
is on the island, who is interested in Billy, is trying to adopt Billy.
Yeah. So essentially, Gabrielle's mom is like, we want to take Billy in, so that way Gabrielle can fuck her adopted
brother.
Woo!
Yay!
We love it. Oh, Jesus.
Technical incest, I guess you could say. That's technically incest. I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I don't
think so.
I don't know, and I don't care.
I don't want to talk about this. Okay. So, yeah, the mean girl essentially just is like, I need to get Gabrielle back.
Right.
So she goes to Billy's bunk, knocks on his window. He comes out, and she says, Billy, you need to meet Gabrielle down by the dock. She wants you.
And he kind of just goes,
and he's just like, oh, okay, sure.
Let me put my pants on.
Was already wearing pants, not wearing a shirt. Nothing changes. He's just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess, luckily, the 3 terrible child actors from before were sleeping in a tent conveniently right outside there.
Which is weird because they have a house.
Yes. Didn't even think about that.
I
what
didn't
the
think
fuck?
about it until now.
Okay, great. One of the kids has a camcorder. That's kind of his thing throughout the entire movie. He's just always the kid recording.
Yes.
I guess that's the one not convenient, but
not poorly just inserted.
It worked. The whole movie
worked.
he had a camera, so it made sense.
Yes.
He didn't just randomly have a camera.
Which might be the only thing that makes sense in this movie.
This is true. So they film all of this happening. So they go down to the dock, and Billy's like, Gabrielle, where are you?
And
then Ashley from behind is just like, guess she's not here. And Billy's like,
and she's just like,
okay.
She goes
and
in.
And then she's like, don't you want some of this? And then just takes off all of her clothes. Not fully naked. To which I thought she was going there. And I was like,
I was very scared.
Whoa.
I was scared.
This movie took a fucking turn.
But
no,
what?
she gets down to her jimmies, her underwear, and is like, don't you want this, Billy?
Ew.
And
never
sorry,
ever
I know.
Say that again.
And Billy's like, no, I wouldn't swim with, or I think she just says like, do you want to go for a swim?
And he was like, I wouldn't swim with you if you were the last girl on earth.
Which,
and he walks away.
Fucking burn.
Which, get it, Billy.
Fucking
get it.
Fuck you, Billy.
Get it.
So she's like, fine, your loss.
And
jumps into the water.
Yes. Starts drowning.
And just starts to drown. Just starts to drown.
So Billy turns around. He looks at her. And he just freaking savagely just turns around.
What does he say?
You
wrote it down. I know you did.
He didn't say anything.
No?
No, he didn't.
Okay, well, he gives her a look. He like looks and is just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, so then he eventually
you're not drowning, and then just walks away.
Literally. And then he eventually ends up saving her. And
yeah,
then
but when she jumps into the water and starts drowning, she's like 3 feet in front of the dock.
Yeah.
And then instead of just jumping in, he gets on the boat that's conveniently there and fucking drives the boat like half a mile out to save her. And I'm like, how the fuck did she get there that fast?
But they're like, oh, it's the riptide. It's the undertow.
Riptide my ass.
Yeah, I don't even.
Undertow my ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't take you out half a mile in 7 seconds. What are you talking about?
I don't even know. But the note that I have here after this happens is they go back to the house and the bitch is a bitch.
Yes. The bitch is a bitch because they go into the house where the family is staying and they're like, what happened? And Billy's like, she dragged me out of my bunk and tried to get me down to the dock where Gabrielle was, but Gabrielle wasn't there. And she's like, he's lying. He brought me down to the dock and ripped my clothes off. And they're like, yeah, that sounds legit.
Like, yeah.
Billy, you're a piece of shit.
Billy,
and I was like, oh, fuck, that was quick.
I was like, wow.
Just,
and also,
sure, all right.
Also, the 3 kids who were there and saw it and were filming don't say anything
until later.
Say anything.
Then they eventually say something.
And they're like, oh, we got it on video. And
like, oh yeah, we have the whole thing on video.
And no one's even like, you didn't say that before. They're just like, okay, Billy, you're great. Ashley, boo.
Yeah, completely just flip again. So now Ashley is pissed, right?
Yes.
She's like...
I said Ashley is exposed and Billy is redeemed.
Ashley is #exposed.
And then
also, something that we have forgotten to mention at this point.
Oh, gosh.
Is while kind of all of these plot points are happening, we're also just being shown so many fucking montages.
Probably
of all of the kids at the camp just being at the camp.
Just
and like doing circus
acrobatic
stuff.
things.
And it's so funny because about halfway through I tallied down 10 montages.
Yes. There are, like, let's just think about that for a second.
10 montages.
There are 10.
Each of them has a different song playing.
And each of them approximately last about 1 to 3 minutes.
No, like the majority of this movie is just footage of people doing acrobatics and juggling. If you cut out
all of the montages in this movie, you could have a separate movie.
Literally, yes. You could make this like a short film of just circus performances. But
and that would probably be better than what we saw.
Oh, I would much rather watch that.
For sure.
But
for sure.
So in between all this bullshit that's happening that I really don't care about at this point, are just random montages of circus performers. And halfway through all of the montages, I realized, oh, wait, I think I know why all of these actors are so fucking bad. Is because they're all actual circus performers, and they were told, oh, hey, we want to show you guys doing your tricks, but there has to be some sort of story behind it. So we need you to act your best.
Right.
So that way we can show you off doing your aerials and juggling and
it's like
balancing on balls and shit.
And the confusing thing about that, though, is that clearly most of the people in this movie who are doing acrobatic stunts, they have stunt doubles. Like the ones that are the ones that are main characters have stunt doubles that look nothing like who they actually are.
Yeah, but I think you can just blame that on the fact that it's a B movie. Although,
I
also wrote down and I looked up, the budget was $2.5 million.
You cannot look at me and say that you could not hire someone who looked even remotely like some of these cast members with a budget of $2.5 million.
No, you can.
You can. I give no excuses to this movie. No excuses.
I know a stuntman, and he's told me about how large the stunt community is. You can fucking find someone that looks like you. Like, it's not hard, really. Especially when the main character is a somewhat tan, middle-height, middle-aged...
kind of muscly guy.
White dude. Like, not hard.
Right,
but they completely fuck it up.
Mess it up.
Like, oh my god. Oh my god. This is fucking... Oh,
it's so bad.
Wow. So
back to the actual plot of the movie. Because there's still more, shockingly.
But there's no plot to be resolved.
There's no plot to be resolved.
Nothing... That's the thing about this movie, is that being here and talking about it, we've been talking about the plot after seeing it for, a half an hour now?
And I don't know what's going on.
Not only do I not know what's going on, the people listening don't know what's going on.
So sorry.
And... there's no plot to be resolved.
Right.
Other than the fact that I suppose they're trying to make enough money to not be evicted, which
that's
never
not
gets mentioned again.
Ever.
At the end of the movie, they just have the final performance and that's it. So I guess we can assume that they made enough money, but there's never anything said that
about that.
No.
The only plot point that, because you figure that, okay, the mean girl got what was coming to her, whatever,
right,
but she's out for revenge.
Yes.
And that adds about 30 more minutes onto the movie.
Yes, this
for
is the
no
only plot point
reason.
left.
So basically,
last one.
She's exposed, and she decides that she is going to get her revenge. So she goes in the house, and there's scary music playing. And she opens... Also, so I didn't think about this before. She opens a drawer and takes out some money. And closes the drawer.
Yeah, why?
Wait. She does that, right?
Okay.
And then she goes to another drawer and she takes out a knife. And
No, the knife was on the chopping block because they were cutting oranges.
Right. Sorry.
How dare you?
How dare I know.
Remember the points of this,
right.
God damn it. What does that sound?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway. So, she grabs a knife. And she grabs some money. The money is never mentioned after that. She just freaking stole.
No, it's just to show character.
And so after that, she sneaks into the circus tent late at night.
Oh my god.
And she cuts little holes in the net that catches the performers.
Yeah.
And she ends up cutting her hand and just so much blood. So much blood.
Oh, there was so
for no
much
reason.
blood right away.
You know when you are peeling a potato and you you're peeling something. You're peeling a fruit with a peeler.
No. Pick something else. What?
You know when you're slicing an apple?
So she cut her hand?
She cut her hand.
Okay.
And so much blood.
It's just so much blood.
The equivalent of a paper cut size cut. So much blood.
Yeah.
Out of this cut.
Not a very big knife.
No, not a very big
knife. And she didn't drag the whole thing across her hand.
No.
It was she nicked the side of her thumb.
Right.
And then her entire hand is covered in fake blood.
Her entire arm.
I was like, oh shit.
I was like, wow, the fake blood budget on this movie was just insane, and they all spent it on this one moment. And so after that happens, bunch of other bullshit happens.
Right. A bunch of other bullshit happens. Literally, we just watch approximately 15 minutes of circus footage.
Real circus
footage. Not the same actors from the movie. Not
this is the best
anything
part.
Or anyone or any place involved with this film we are currently watching. It's just like stock footage of a circus.
And it's awful.
And it's terrible quality.
It's like they're doing fine. They're doing their jobs.
Filmed on like a 1980s like handheld camcorder. It just looks like shit.
Also, another thing about this movie is that it was filmed in 2006, but everyone is styled and they look like, and it's filmed like it's an 80s movie and it's lit that way.
That's true.
And
it looks
the music
like
is like that.
Yeah.
It like made me question whether or not this movie was actually made in the 2000s.
Look, the directors are really going for that style. They're really trying to be stylistic with it, you know? No. But anyway, in addition to all this performance, Gabrielle is now going to do her very first ever performance because her dad is a flying trapeze artist. She wants to do it only in the last 20 minutes of the movie, I suppose. Okay, sorry guys, we had some audio technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I've never done this before. So
we don't know what we're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. So anyway, what was I saying? Gabrielle's about to do her like final flying trapeze, whatever the fuck. And
Ashley comes up.
Ashley, we have known and we have been seeing that there's been a rip opening up into this, like into the netting. So Gabrielle's about to fucking die.
She's about to fall.
She's going to fall because that's how she has to get off the trapeze.
But she's going to not be
directly into the part of the net that now has a hole in it. No one noticed this hole.
No.
And Ashley's about to kill this bitch. Like, it had to have been her intentions to fucking murder
kill
Gabrielle.
Her. But
right?
As soon as Gabrielle is climbing this ladder, Ashley runs up
for no reason.
She's like, "Stop! She can't go up there. Like, no, she's gonna die." And then they both kind of just go like, "Classic Ashley." She's trying to make a point that Gabrielle can't be a trapeze artist. There's no reason for Ashley to be nice at this point. There's no reason for that.
No,
but she is
the entire movie. She's been like, "You'll fuck Gabrielle."
Is because the movie wants her to be that in that moment because
just for
it's trying to create suspense. But it's
Yeah. So as she's up there flying, Ashley's like, "No, don't stop." And then Gabrielle falls, hits the net,
but
it rips. But
here's the kicker, everyone.
Here's not only the best part, but the weirdest fucking part of the movie.
The whole movie. So remember when we were talking about on the beach with the footsteps, and I was disappointed because I didn't get to see a ghost.
Oh, so disappointed.
Well, here's our ghost.
The ghost
of her grandfather, who was a trapeze artist, who is just
thank you,
Ed Marinara in a mustache.
He looks like Mario from Super Mario Bros.
He looks like Mario,
but like the human version movie that came out a while ago,
and it's terrifying.
It's horrifying.
And the thing is that he's there and he's holding out his arms, and as soon as it happened, Jacob was like, "Oh, he caught her." No, he didn't.
Yeah, we went back and saw it, and
because she fell through his
still
arms.
Fell.
Because he's a ghost.
He's like, "Don't worry, granddaughter, I got you." And then he realizes, like, "Oh yeah, I'm a fucking apparition. I can't hold anything." Just fucking hits the ground.
I mean, she doesn't die, but she falls onto the ground.
The ER guy goes up to her and is just like, "You're gonna make a recovery. She's a very lucky
girl.
Fine.
She's good."
I'm like, "Oh my god."
And then she's like, "Guys, Grandpa caught me." No, he didn't. No, he did not. He did not catch you.
No, it was fucking crazy.
I'm mad about
that.
I'm sorry.
The movie basically ends with the two moms going up to the net and are like,
yeah.
"Oh, someone cut the net," and then a police officer shows up and they're like, "Oh yeah, it was Ashley. You see the blood that's on the net is the same blood that was on her hand."
Yeah.
Arrest her.
And then Ashley's a bitch again.
And then Ashley, turns into a fucking bitch again.
She's like, oh, like you got what you deserved.
My daddy's the lawyer. I'll get out of here in no time. And then the police officer, who I think was an actual police officer that they just hired to be there that day.
They found him on the street. They were like, hey, can you just like stand in for a second?
Do you want to be in the movie? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. Because he was just like...
Ed Marinera's going to be there. You want to be in it?
Oh, shit. Ed Marinera's going to be there. Because he was just like, oh, no. You're going to go to jail. And she's like,
oopsie,
okay,
oopsie.
Fine. And that's kind of how the movie... Oh, no.
No.
Shit. Just tell him about... say what you're going to say.
No, I was just going to check the mic because it was being weird again.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just stop slapping it.
I wasn't.
Stop slapping
I was not slapping it. I don't even know. Like, so the dad the dad comes back. I don't even know if we mentioned, but he left and he came back for no reason. He's left.
Oh no, he was going off to do some sort of other circus in Mexico because it was his dream. But then he came back within 2 days because he was like, I miss my family too much.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the whole.
It.
That's the whole thing.
That's it.
But then the ghost of Grandpa comes back and haunts everybody in their sleep.
Yes, I forgot about that.
And then they're like, oh shit, it's Grandpa. And now everybody can see him.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, it's Grandpa. Except when Dad gets home, when Ed Marinera gets home, because it's also Ed Marinera in a mustache, he can't actually see him and they can't be in the same room together.
Right.
Also, he's not like a ghost in the way that like Patrick Swayze in Ghost is just like, he just looks normal and is walking around and no one can quote unquote see him. He's like, Ed Marinera in the mustache is like blue.
Yeah.
And it looks like the genie. From Aladdin.
Yes, it looks like a mixture of the genie from Aladdin
see-through.
And the ghosts that they put next to your seat on the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a very good one. It's very Ghostbusters-esque.
It is very Ghostbusters-esque.
Yeah, very apparition-y. But basically, that's how the movie ends.
Yeah,
the movie ends with them all just being on the beach, hanging out with Ghost Grandpa.
And then there's this like random kid, and he's like, why is the trapeze moving by itself? And all the kids go,
Grandpa Marinera is...
It's Grandpa.
Yeah, and the random kid is like, that's weird, and then
I
fucking walks
think
away.
One of the last lines of the movie was like, well, that's the magic of the circus.
Oh, yeah, the very last shot of the movie is Ghost Grandpa looking at the screen, or looking at the camera and going like, that's the magic of Circus Island, or some bullshit, and then like winks, and then the camera fades to black.
And it's over.
So this movie was
a fucking
ends. Waste of time. We've talked about it for too goddamn long.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go back to our
Let's go back to our predictions, and then
see if any of them came true.
And then I'm gonna read some of my favorite notes that I wrote down.
Sure. I said the main dad is gonna die. No, but the ghost of his grandfather came back, so that's kind of cool. And then I said the main girl was going to get lost. That didn't happen. I just assumed because it was an island.
Yeah.
And then the quotes, I said, get off my circus island. He kind of said that to Billy. He was like, get out of my circus camp. So, like, kind of, but not really.
I'll give you a half point.
Welcome to Paradise. No one said that, which I was very upset about.
It made me sad.
And then there was not an explosion, which I was very
There was not an
about.
explosion.
With a $2.5 million budget,
come on,
there should be a fucking explosion.
Where did the money go?
Where did the money go? No, it came into making Ed Marinera a ghost.
Oh, there you go. So some of my quotes, my plot point, the circus is running out of money. That came true. That did come true.
Yep.
They need to save the circus. That also came true.
Yeah.
The bullies in the trailer show up at camp. That is also true.
Yep.
So
you're very good at that.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
I went completely fucking off the rails, apparently.
That's okay. I mean, it was not off par to what actually happened.
No,
it was definitely the same level of crazy, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And then no one said the show must go on, which made me really sad.
Oh, damn it.
No one said something's happened and everyone on the island is in danger, which I really wanted someone to say, but it's fine. And then no one said it's either me or the circus.
For how many cliches there were in this movie, they didn't hit the big cliches.
No, they didn't. Which is interesting
is weird.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's go down our left field predictions.
What do you mean? I said my left field prediction.
You did, sorry.
Yeah, no, I said I wanted there to be an explosion. There wasn't an explosion.
Sorry,
what did you want again? You
one
wanted
of mine was there's going to be a scene involving an animal getting loose and they have to catch it. That did not happen.
That didn't happen, although they did talk a lot about manatees.
Which was weird. Which we learned that there is actually such thing as a Florida manatee. We did not know that. Yeah,
they're like off the coast of Florida, and I didn't know that at all. So I guess we all learned something today. I guess we all learned
something today, unless you already knew that.
To this podcast all the way to here, you have gotten something out of this now.
Yes.
You have learned that there are manatees around Florida.
In Florida.
Because that's the only thing I've learned
today. The only thing I've learned from that movie,
really. As long as you learn one thing a day.
There you go. Also, Big Top was never mentioned. Yeah. Which we already touched on.
No, we already talked about that. It was just very upsetting. I do have a couple quotes that were said that I just thought were absolutely hilarious. There was a quote, I think Billy said this when Ashley was being mean to Gabrielle. He says, "There are worse things in life than a bunch of moronic rah-rahs." I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
That also...
What the hell?
That also ties into one of my notes that just says, "What is a rah-rah?"
Someone tell me what a fucking rah-rah is. I was not coherent, I suppose, in the year 2006. Another one was, at one point, they went into the classroom, and they were taking a test, and Ashley had stolen Gabrielle's calculator.
Yes.
In, I guess, an act of bullying. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But the teacher says, this class, this test is worth a fourth of your grade. Take out your calculators. Then Gabrielle is frantically looking for the calculator, and she raises her hand, is like, "Sir, I don't have a calculator." And he goes, "You should have brought a calculator. You get a 0. Get out of my class." And I'm like, what?
And then the bell rings.
And then and then the class is over. I'm like, wait, what happened to the test?
Yeah, what
happened to the test? There's another one that says, "A fiasco like this could ruin circus camp." I thought that one was good.
One was good.
Oh, and then the part right after Ashley accuses Billy of trying to rape her, which is terrible.
Oh,
terrible. There is a guy, there's a ton of guys hanging out, and they're all playing they're playing catch.
Right.
And one of the guys looks at Billy and is like, "You had it made with 2 girls, 1 tall knockout and 1 hot tamale."
Oh god.
Verbatim. It says that. I wrote it down.
Say that.
What is this movie?
I have no idea. God. Just real quick, one of the notes I wrote was slow motion. Why?
Oh god, the slow motion was just really bad.
It was really bad.
But I think that's just how 2006 was.
I mean,
I
guess. I also wrote the extras are so great. They really just went for it.
They were trying their best.
They were
trying their best.
They went for it, and I appreciated it. That's pretty much it. I also wrote a quote from Jacob during the movie, which says, "Bitch, it's a hula hoop. What did you think that was?"
You know what? I'm not giving context to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just if you feel inclined to watch this film
after the raving review we just gave,
we basically gave you the entire synopsis. It's super boring. Next week we will make sure that we watch at least something more interesting that we can maybe have some sort of a discussion about.
I'm honestly really disappointed that it was not as bananas as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you know what? What we might do with this episode is we might not release it as a first episode, but we might release it later in our career as podcasters. Just as hey, this was our first attempt.
Right.
And we watched a fucking god-awful movie. Too bad. So bad to where we really couldn't even make it interesting. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is interesting, but who knows?
We'll see.
So if you're watching this and we already have had some podcasts, that would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Be
very interesting. But anyway, I don't recommend it.
So
watch anything but this movie.
So I would say, for me,
yes,
I would rate this movie 1.5 Ed Marineris out of 10.
1.5. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very low. It's
very low. I hated this movie. I fucking hated this movie.
I thought there were at least some redeeming qualities. That it was sometimes laughably bad, which is why I'm giving this movie 2 attempted murders out of 10.
Damn.
I'm applauding myself for that one. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
do we have anything else you want to talk about?
At Marinara.
At Marinara, baby.
If you're watching, I love your work.
That's a terrible accent.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
Hello, everyone.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to stop.